A dangerous job getting even riskier.
I've been a cop for 35 years. What our members are experiencing nowadays, I didn't experience this 35 years ago.
Police say violent crime and toxic attitudes must be tackled. 2 deadly earthquakes in Venezuela.
It gave me goosebumps because it's a situation that you don't want to go through it, right?
Leaving people in Calgary desperate to contact loved ones there. And planting the seeds of friendship.
It's a good reminder that they're not alone and that we haven't forgotten them.
A small gesture to battle loneliness in seniors.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Alicia Fieldberg.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Calgary Police say there's no credible coordinated threat targeting officers following weeks of violence which killed 3 police officers across the country. The latest happened Monday in Montreal after a Lethbridge man opened fire, killing 1 officer and injuring another. But as Tyson Fedor reports, the impacts are being felt across the service.
Calgary's police chief says her members are remaining vigilant following the death of a Montreal police officer earlier this week.
It's gut-wrenching. It's so impactful. And as I said, this has become an attack on our profession.
Despite attacks stretching from Quebec and Ontario to Saskatchewan, police in our city say there are no coordinated threats against officers here. But investigators will not share specifics about intelligence, and they are working with other jurisdictions, including the RCMP.
The members who go out every day to protect and serve this city, knowing that at any minute they face risk, they face increased crime and complexity.
The Police Association says the job of an officer has become more dangerous due to increased violent crime and repeat offenders out on bail.
These are a reminder that no matter how safe you are, there's always people out there who are looking to harm our members. I think the job is more dangerous than it has ever been. We see more guns coming off the street. We see more violent crime, and I think it's a narrative about society overall. We see a mental health system that's overworked and at its breaking point.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford wants police safety near the top of the agenda at next month's Premier's meeting. Alberta says it shares his concerns. Calgary's mayor says workplace safety must remain a top priority for all first responders.
So we need to remain vigilant. We need to step up and support our first responders. We need to advocate for the tools, specifically around sentencing and bail reform, to be able to address these offenders.
One criminologist says it's rare for violent attacks on police officers despite the recent shootings and assaults. But Kelly Sundberg adds it leaves a challenging impression.
It makes it very difficult for the police to recruit. Who wants to join a profession where you potentially could get killed?
Sundberg blames toxic social media messaging for an increase in distaste towards police officers.
We have to start looking at where are these attitudes developing and what can we do to change them.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
A Calgary police officer has been charged with assault. Imran Khan, a constable with 6 years service, is suspended with pay. Police say Khan used excessive force by punching a person who was under arrest. Khan will appear in court on August 6th. Calgary police have released photos and names of 16 people charged in extortion cases, hoping to stir up more information to prevent and deter the crime. All but one of these suspects are still in the community with court-imposed conditions as they await their next court dates. There have been nearly 50 extortion-related incidents since last April, most of them targeting members of the South Asian community by threatening people and demanding hefty ransoms. This includes 19 cases involving shootings. Police say many of the people arrested are not Canadian citizens. Some are using student visas to come here, and many of these people have legal documents from different countries and Canada, all under different names.
What we see is they're hiding in plain sight. In fact, in the investigation, to give you some anecdotal information, at one point, a roommate didn't even know the legal name or the person we were talking about until we showed a photo. That's the reason we're giving this information and releasing certain photos for this.
Investigators say if you're being targeted, do not pay. Contact police immediately. Anyone with information about these incidents can contact police, Crime Stoppers, or email extortion@calgarypolice.ca. And police would also like to hear from anyone who may have information connected to a Beltline shooting earlier this month. Officers are trying to identify this man, who they believe knows something about that shooting. Just before 11 on June 5th, people inside a Beltline apartment heard gunshots. 2 men were hurt. Both suffered life-altering injuries. A school bus collided with a vehicle in the southeast late this afternoon, but there were no serious injuries. It happened in Mackenzie Town. An ambulance was on scene as a precaution, and students on board were transferred to another bus. Calgary police say a driver critically injured in a crash in Southview on Wednesday is a 17-year-old girl. Investigators say this SUV that she was driving ran into two parked vehicles at high speed. The driver remains in hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police have a better description of a man who allegedly exposed himself to a group of students last week. It happened near Braeside School on June 16th. A group of students say the man exposed himself and grabbed one of them by the arm. Police are looking for a man in his late 20s to early 30s with short, dark hair. He was last seen wearing a dark hoodie, black pants, and carrying a light-colored backpack. Canadians are waiting hours, sometimes days, in emergency rooms across the country. But a new report suggests the problem doesn't actually begin in the ER. Kathy Lee has more on what's really driving the delays.
Long waits in Canada's emergency rooms have become an all too familiar experience, and Brenda Trottier knows that firsthand.
It was frustrating.
She says her daughter went to a Calgary emergency room with abdominal pain last month and did not leave until more than 10 hours later.
Why wasn't her pain addressed? Why did we wait so long?
A new report by the Canadian Institute for Health Information found 1 in 10 patients spent more than 14 hours in the ER in 2024-2025. For those needing to be admitted, 1 in 10 spent more than 2 days in the ER waiting for a bed. This doctor says it's a long-standing issue that keeps getting worse.
We've been calling a state of emergency and state of crisis.
The report suggests the root of the problem often lies far beyond the emergency department. Shortages of hospital beds, long-term care spaces, and community supports are creating a bottleneck through the healthcare system.
Our government has been neglecting on some of the capacity and workforce building.
The consequences of overcrowded emergency departments have at times been tragic. In Alberta, 44-year-old Prashant Srikumar died in an Edmonton ER. And in Ontario, 16-year-old Finlay Vander Werken died in an Oakville ER. Both waited 8 hours to see a doctor. The Alberta government says population growth, rising demand, and increasing patient complexity are contributing to longer waits.
I think the feds have to get involved now and actually start to say, hey, we need to look at this in a national solution.
Trottier is thankful her daughter's condition wasn't more serious and understands medical staff are under strain, but says enough is enough.
It is broken.
And the government needs to make changes. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
One of the signature events of Banff's Snow Days Festival won't be back due to overcrowding. Ski joring sees competitors on skis and snowboards pulled along a snowy jump-filled course by horses. Organizers say it was a hard decision to cancel, but the growing popularity caused problems for the mountain town. Nearly 24,000 vehicles entered Banff on the first day of competition earlier this year, leading to heavy congestion. There are also reports of excessive alcohol consumption and littering downtown. Well, there's a much smaller gathering of people, but still a crowd checking out a spectacle in northwest Calgary this afternoon. Around 4 p.m., 2 moose were ambling along Ambleton Drive Northwest, munching trees and minding their own business. Now, people in the area say the animals didn't mind the neighbors all stopping to stare and capture some videos of the unexpected urban wildlife.
To see it in person, it was actually it was so surprising. They were calm, but it caused a lot of traffic on our road. A lot of cars were stopping by just to take pictures.
I look up and it was 2 mooses, so I put down my phone. I was just in awe. The first couple of seconds, I had walked outside my car, and then they turned and looked at me. I walked right back into my car. I didn't really want any smoke, so.
Yeah, experts say that's exactly the right thing to do. If you see a moose in the city, keep your distance and try not to scare it. Then report the sighting to someone, including conservation officers, which is what people in the community said that they did. It was a pleasant morning, started out quite warm, bit of sun and cloud, but then that wind picked up and looks like tomorrow might be kind of the same.
Yeah, expect a similar idea tomorrow. It may not be as bright tomorrow. We may have more cloudy periods tomorrow. The other thing is, yes, the wind will be fairly similar, 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts that will kick in later in the morning, likely after 11 a.m. and then last through the afternoon and supper hours. There is a chance once again of showers that kick in around 2 in the afternoon, but it will be very isolated if we get it at all. 20 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow, so not quite as warm as what we had today. We have a good amount of rain in that long range forecast, including for the weekend. I'll show you that in a little bit.
Thanks, Danielle. Canada has offered some help after 2 massive earthquakes hit Venezuela today. Nearly 200 people were killed, more than 1,000 injured, and communication services impacted, making it difficult for people to track down loved ones.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Calgarians with family in Venezuela are frantically trying to connect with loved ones there after earthquakes hit that country, killing more than 100 people and injuring more than 1,000. Moses Waldu reports.
Frightening scenes kept Josue Ramirez up all night, scrambling to hear from family in Venezuela.
Gladly, we just got, they reach out to us and they are good, they are safe.
While Ramirez is relieved, he says one of his closest friends wasn't as lucky.
A few friends of hers died in the earthquake, and it gave me goosebumps because it's a situation that you don't want to go through it, right? So
the 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes that shook a nation Wednesday is also being felt here at this Venezuelan restaurant. Carolina De La Torre has been in constant contact with relatives, giving her details of the destruction.
We don't have an emergency plan, and now people are like bringing the machinery to help people to get out of the building.
The Venezuelan Canadian Association of Calgary was anticipating a joyous weekend with a festival down at Eau Claire Plaza. Now Saturday's gathering means so much more, as proceeds will be donated to Canadian Global Response, a charity that helps those impacted by natural disasters.
The more important is get the help there as soon as we can. So that's why we prefer to raising money.
We're going to try to do whatever we can do as a community to support our families and relatives and friends in Venezuela.
Moses Waldu, CTV News, Calgary.
This afternoon, Ottawa confirmed it is providing Venezuela an initial $5 million in humanitarian assistance. Global Affairs says there are currently 740 Canadians registered as being in Venezuela. A report from the University of Calgary is raising concerns about the province's funding changes for people with disabilities. The new Alberta Disability Assistance Program will replace AISH, or Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped. Under ADAP, people will receive $1,740 a month, $200 less than what AISH provides. The province says the program will encourage people with disabilities to enter the workforce. But the report says it could have the opposite effect, failing to address barriers that make it difficult for people with disabilities to find and keep employment.
It's really taking the approach that employment policy for people with disabilities can't succeed if it only focuses on the individual and ignores the labor market that they're trying to enter.
ADAP officially takes effect next week on Canada Day. Calgarians in Ward 12 got the chance to speak with their councillor and mayor tonight. There was a full house for this town hall meeting in Seaton. Mayor Jeremy Farkas and Councillor Mike Jamieson discussed town hall's priorities and took questions from attendees about issues impacting families. City workers are removing aging trees along an inner-city street. The city says these trees are reaching the end of their natural lifespan and showing stages of decline. Workers removed 5 trees and pruned several others. The wood will get a second life at the Calgary Zoo, where it will be used for habitat enrichment and animal feed for moose, giraffes, camels, gorillas, and hippos. For some seniors, loneliness isn't just about being alone, it's about losing daily connection. Kevin Green reports on a Calgary group trying to help new friendships take root.
It starts with a simple houseplant, but for Vivian Woods, the goal isn't just to brighten a room, it's to give seniors a reason to connect.
It's a good reminder that they're not alone and that we haven't forgotten them and that as a community, we're here for them. Hi, John.
Hey, come in, guys.
Hey, I'm Vivian.
Woods runs Growing Gratitude YYC, delivering free indoor plants to seniors who may be lonely, isolated, or living with limited mobility.
Even by delivering a plant, if you want me to come in for a cup of tea, I'll come in for a cup of tea. It might be the only conversation a senior gets that day.
For some, it brings routine. For others, it brings a visit.
For about a year, I just didn't see anybody and hardly talked to anybody at all.
University of Calgary researcher Alex Bierman says about 1 in 3 older Albertans surveyed reported feeling isolated. He says the issue isn't just social activity, it's whether people feel they matter.
One thing that we can really do to help older adults feel less lonely is essentially invite them into our lives.
Thursday, Woods, along with the company Tiva Grow, was handing out plants at Shea Lim Community Senior Living. The hope is they spark conversations between residents, volunteers, and staff.
For example, if I'm not a very good plant person, what if mine is dying and it's on its way out, and I can talk to somebody else who's good at it?
By having a program where residents are receiving them together also creates bonding. For people to be talking about the plant that they received, maybe visiting each other's plants, keeping each other accountable.
Bierman says ongoing connection is what helps reduce loneliness.
To have these sorts of more ongoing, intensive opportunities where older adults can interact with each other and feel like they have engagement with each other, that's what's really going to decrease loneliness.
And Woods hopes one small plant can be the first step towards something bigger, a conversation, a visit, and eventually a friendship. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
It's shaping up to be a perfect weekend for an indoor World Cup watch party as Team Canada competes in the knockout round. Hundreds have been gathering outside at Eau Claire Market to cheer on Canada. But with rain in the forecast for Sunday, you might also want to consider an indoor venue. Spruce Meadows has announced it will host a watch party inside its Equiplex. Canada takes on South Africa at 1 p.m. on Sunday. The doors at Spruce Meadows will open at noon. As for when it's most likely to rain this weekend, Danielle will break that down for you. Her forecast is coming up next.
In the city, the temperatures were definitely warm. The sun was out, but it was on the windy side, absolutely. All right, looking at daytime highs, we got to a high of 24 in Calgary, 25 for Medicine Hat, warmer in through Brooks and Drumheller, where we got to 26 degrees. So we certainly had some heat in southern Alberta today. We're not going to be as hot as we head through these next few days. The wind, though, will be pretty similar. So we maxed out in those mid-40s in Calgary. So 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts possible once again for tomorrow for Calgary, but also possible in all of the far south as well. All right, so let's look at what's been happening. So we did have some active weather, especially along the mountains. None of it materialized enough and had any strength to make its way all the way to Calgary, but we did see some in the southwest corner like expected. We did see some off to the east as well. Non-severe though. All right, when we look at the futurecast for tomorrow, we'll have some cloud cover for the morning, but we should also have some sunny breaks as well. By the afternoon, by 2 p.m., that's when we get into the chance of showers in the city. We will certainly see some to the west of the city, and then there will be isolated pockets here and there. But this is a little less organized in comparison to what we're going to see come Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All right, this is a big system that's going to deliver a lot of rainfall Friday, Saturday, Sunday through central Alberta. So Edmonton area, for example, the ground is already overly saturated, and they're looking at getting another 30 to 60 millimeters of rain in a short period of time in just 3 days. In southern Alberta, we're looking at a good amount of rainfall, but spread over 4 days instead, and less rainfall, 20 to 40 millimeters. I'll show you the long-range forecast in just a second, but Saturday we will get some sunshine at times out there, but in the afternoon we have that potential, especially closer to the supper hours, of showers and even some non-severe thunderstorms. It's Saturday night, though, through Sunday that the system will circle down and will deliver some more consistent widespread rainfall to Calgary and many parts of southern Alberta. And that's why we'll likely pick up some totals, some decent totals by then. So 20 degrees tomorrow, some sunshine, some cloudy periods, and then by 2 p.m. we get into the chance of some showers. Saturday, similar idea, but it's mainly the rainfall Saturday night through Sunday. That's when we're looking at that more consistent rainfall. Daytime highs for the weekend will be in the teens. And by Sunday, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain, and then another 10 to 15 is possible on Monday.
Thanks, Danielle. A makeover is complete on a Calgary park. An old building that operates as a theater is now surrounded by spaces more inviting to the community. The City of Calgary spent a year and $3.6 million upgrading Pump House Park, just west of the downtown core. Designers used the historic pump house as inspiration for art pieces and play structures surrounding the building that's been a theater for more than 50 years. Kevin Fleming reports.
There's a common theme of blue piping at Pump House Park that's used in artwork and play structures.
The designers chose to use water pipe and water pipe fittings and to create the swings. So you have that subtle connection to the pump house through the use of the water pipe in our play features. So it was quite intelligent design as far as I'm concerned.
This is the official opening of the park after a year's worth of construction. Kyle Ripley says it was time for an upgrade here.
We had beach volleyball here for quite a while. And but prior to that, it was basically everything you see here without the smaller trees and the amenities. So it was just kind of a space that really wasn't getting a lot of use. And now we've created some opportunity for Calgarians to love and enjoy it.
The rejuvenated park is a space people living in Sunelta, Hillhurst, Sunnyside, and Scarborough can't wait to use.
These improvements were very much needed to provide more accessibility, more options for the rest of Calgary to enjoy the park, and for the residents of Sunelta to be able to show off our backyard. We're so excited about it.
With the Sunelta community right here, which is been struggling with some social disorder issues lately, again, this is something that will bring in people and bring in positive energy. And the more people we have using a space and being in an area, the healthier that community becomes.
Members of the Untold Stories Theatre were part of the celebration with a song from their current production of Hello, Dolly.
She's a matchmaker, and she's ready to take the next step to continue living her best life and being happy. And in order to do so, she kind of meddles around with other people's lives to arrange their happiness as well.
The troupe is made up of 24 volunteers who step on stage to share their passion with Calgarians. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
And there are still a few tickets left for Hello Dolly tomorrow night and for both the matinee and evening show on Saturday. Thanks for staying up late with us.